What's going on, everybody? I'm listening. I'm over here scratching my bundles and shit. Listen, welcome back to the AJ Red Show. Listen, I know it's been a minute since I had an episode out, but oh well, you've been waiting for it anyway, so here it and go. If this is your first video, please go ahead now and hit the subscribe button so when I upload these videos or go live, you can be one of the first ones to jump in the comment section and let me know what you thought about the video and my opinion of the video and even the topic sheet. Just give me your opinion. Now, as you can tell, clearly there's about to be a reboot of Cops or whatever. At least according to Jeannie Mai. I know y'all heard it already and shit like that. Jeannie Mai showed up to Jesus' house, with the police and shit with the popo, and she wanted to, enforce the court order upon their, divorce that happened shit now, 6 months or so ago. And she wanted to walk through. She wanted to go through the halls and the walls of the house and make sure that all of her belongings, that she, decorated so eloquently and so beautifully. She wanted to make sure all the shit that she had up in there was removed. Now, this is when I saw the video today, and I've been hearing about the shit, but I saw the video today of her out there, I guess, with some guards or security or whatever, trying to get in the house to do her walkthrough, and she kept flashing this paper about the court order and all this jazz here. Now, listen, before I really get into this, because I've already been drinking and I'm trying to hold my peace as best I can, but I mean, truly, F it. I'm trying to maintain the guidelines, F it. I'm just really at some point really going to go in because I can tell you like this. Even when Jeannie Mai had her ass over there on the reel with Tamar and Tia Mowry and Lonnie and Adrian Bylong and stuff like that, it's over there on the show. For some reason, I don't know why I cannot find. I have searched my shundo, high and low, and I can't figure out why during that time I just didn't really care for Jeannie Mai. I think I may have spoken about it, some videos back when all this, began when she got with Jeezy or something like that. I don't even remember the video and the topic. But anyway, nevertheless, for some reason, I'm scratching my bundles, y'all. Listen, I'm probably going to be taking this down soon. But for some reason, I know that I just didn't too much care for her. I was mad when Tamar left the platform, and of course, including the way she left and all of that, good bullshit there. But for some reason, I mean, I could vibe almost pretty much with everybody on that platform. But Jeannie Mai, I just didn't like. And I didn't like her because I felt like she boasted so much about, I felt like she was doing too much trying to, come off as black. And I didn't like it. And there was a few other things that I didn't care for. Y'all can say what you want. I don't give a damn. But that was one of my biggest reasons. And I don't mind a vocal person, but I just didn't like her. Shit, I'm not gonna keep giving y'all no reason for why I didn't like her. I didn't like her. I didn't like her during that time. And over a period of time, after everything happened with her and Freddie, and she left him and shit, and when they were married, she didn't want kids. She didn't see that kind of future and all this different shit. It was what did she call it? A draining marriage with Freddie, first husband. Now you got your ass out here and went over there. You done got your black man because you figured you was raised with the black people and carrying over there, in the hood. And now, at some point you felt like you were worried that you got a good young black one, that was already self-made, had a career. And they say Jeannie Mai was famous for something shit. I don't even know what it was. I don't know if it was fashion, clothes, or what it was. I think it was something related to such, but nevertheless, whatever. I only came to know her on the Real. What was the Real? Yeah, she was on the Real or some shit like that with them girls. And I just didn't like it. But anyway, she ventured out. She left Freddie. She dogged him. And she went out and found Yeezy. Somewhere along the way, we started hearing reports about, she wanted to be traditional and shit and bring Mama Mai ass over to the house. And Mama Mai got some strong opinions, and shit. So does the king of the castle. So does men. And he didn't like that. And I think that her rebuttal was the fact that he liked to party so much all the time. Now, I don't know if he was still living this party lifestyle after the child had come, but I can kind of see that point of let's live our lives, to the best of our ability, to our fullest, walk around the house naked and shit, having sex on the floor, on the carpet, getting carpet burns and shit like that, doing that kind of stuff without having your family intruding and your intrusive ass mama. Because Mama Mai used to get on my nerve too on the show. She was cute for some scenes and some stuff, but when she just wouldn't shut the hell up after they had interviewed her and she did her part, it seemed like Mama Mai was always trying to get a job on the damn television show um, with Jeannie. And she was just so annoying. She was more annoying than Jeannie was to me. Um, But you have a mom like that's intrusive, and you have all of your family talking about your tradition. You're not living over there in Taiwan or what it was. She from China or Japan, Vietnam. I don't know where the hell she from. I don't want to, call a woman the wrong thing, but shit, I don't know. I'm not going. I'm again. I'm trying not to get canceled, so I'm not going to say anything. That's that. But you can't marry someone without at least having discussions about traditions and how we're going to mesh those things together, and when they become one, and how we're going to live under one roof. And me personally, I wouldn't have married Jeannie Mai or even shit dated her, had a baby just predicated off of her mama. Like, her mama is like so annoying. And I don't want to talk about nobody's mama, but shit, you know, fuck it, we here now. I said what I said. So anyway, the bottom line is they've been divorced, like I said before in the beginning, around about 6 months or so. Why is it now that you bringing your ass to this man's house, dressed in black like you still in mourning and shit, talking about you want to enforce a court order to walk through. The man had packed all your shit and put it outside. I mean, even if that had not been done, it has been 6 months, my dear. You had all of that time to enforce that court order, to go down there and do your walkthrough, bring your moving company and pack up all your shit and beat it. Make like an egg and scram. Make like a goddamn banana and split, hit the road. But you wait now all this time to reawaken different feelings and beasts and shit, showing up outside the house. To my you moved your life from LA to over there. Don't nobody care. We don't care. You made enough money to have been gone down and get all your shit. Get all your shit and have gotten out. You had enough time. It's not like you doing that much working. Shit, I ain't seen you in shit. I ain't seen you on TV doing shit. I ain't seen you on, I haven't heard you on the radio. I haven't heard any interviews. I haven't heard any spoken word poetry written by Jeannie Mai. I haven't really, and maybe it's just me living under a in rock. I don't know. Y'all drop down in the comment section and let me know what y'all seen her doing lately, because the only thing I've seen her doing, in the forefront, is harassing this man, going down there, bamping on the door and shit, with the camera crews talking about she want to walk through. The shit was outside. Even when you showed up at the door and the shit was outside, you could have got your moving crew to take whatever you had out there in the boxes. You allegedly you have enough money to replenish more than enough things. There was nothing that you was missing that much. It couldn't have been any family heirlooms from Mama Mai's Mama Mai. Shit. Mama Mai. Mama Mai's mama and her grandma and all that shit. And if it were, you would have already, in my mind, have already passed through and sweep through the city like Shirley Caesar and picked up all your shit. And so whatever he saw fit that was probably any memory of you, or any way he saw fit that your petty ass was gonna be like them bunny slippers you used to wear on Saturday morning when you wasn't working or just being around the house, you and Mama Mai sitting around eating or drinking Chinese tea and shit, and eating Japanese biscuits, whatever, I don't know the woman's nationality. It doesn't even matter. I'm just shit trying to find ways to describe her. Whatever her and Mama Mai was doing, he even went to thinking how petty you were, because you've been doing some petty shit during the whole divorce process, and I think both of them have. People are saying that what he did was petty. He could have opened the door and let her in so she can do her walkthrough. That man don't want that bad juju in that house. He probably already saged it and did Palo Santo and all kind of shit, and had voodoo priests come through there with sage and water and incantations to get rid of that bad ass shit that the spirits and vibrations and shit they brought up in that house. He didn't want all that. Or better yet, he might have another woman up in there making. He probably did like y'all's new president. He might went over there to Nagnovia or somewhere and got him one of them wives over there and brought and put up in the house. Because shit, they say variety is the spice of life. He might have went to Brazil and got him a woman and brought back and got up in the house, and he don't want all that press, and he don't want her to know that she's there. And that woman might have been doing some decorating and shit, and it would be nothing for Jeannie Mai to walk through there and be, of course, petty and upset and realizing now all of her shit is off the walls. There's another woman living in the same house that she once lived in, kind of like Quad is kind of, salty about Sweet Tea, got her ass over there living up in the same house with Dr. Gregory over there. And she probably would have, seen some shit and just lied and claimed it as hers just to be petty. I feel like, first of all, again, y'all didn't take the time to figure out who the fuck you was marrying. Think about it. You have to think about who you marrying before you start running around here and just getting hitched and shit. Getting taste of some new cuisine. In the bedroom. She went got out there. I'm pretty sure Jeannie might have probably had some brothers before. I'm sure she done had some dark meat in her life. But ain't it funny? Like they said on Tyler Perry, how life turns around or goes around or some shit. Now, as much as she talked about Freddie, and she didn't want kids with him, like I said before, the marriage was just so toxic. It was so draining and all this shit that she couldn't stand to stay with him. She didn't want kids. She always talked about on the show how she didn't want children and all of that shit. The question was posed to her many times, and she turned her nose up at it. Where she did many things, which, it's, again, her prerogative. And it's a woman's prerogative to change her mind. I'm not saying it's not. Because sometimes in life, you do meet people or come in contact with people that you have relationships with, or sometimes even marriages, and then you realize the shit just ain't going to work out, not to the tune of just being together, but to find out that it really isn't a good idea to bring, children into this when we don't even see eye to eye. That's a smart decision. I'm wondering why she didn't keep that same energy when she got with Jeezy. I mean, Freddie ain't broke. Shit, Freddie out there, on a ranch, roping horses and shit. He tended to his business. He's out there living a good life in Colorado. He out there with the ranch. He out there slapping hogs or tending to the feed or whatever the hell y'all do on the farm and shit. I don't know. Shit, I ain't been on the farm in so long. I don't know, milking the cows or mooing them or some shit. I don't know. All that stuff. He out there living a good life out there, and he out there where weed is legal. So he okay. She need to take her ass over there and see if that, and knock on Freddie's door and see if he, got an empty room or see if he got a shed or a mother-in-law suite he can put her in, and maybe she can patch things up with him and shit. That's if he went out there and got him another dish, a different cuisine over there in his bedroom. He might have him a Latina. I don't know. And he better watch out and make sure people's all in order. I'm just gonna say that, and I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm trying to be right. Ain't nothing wrong with a little Mexican sauce, a little el muy caliente, and ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just nowadays you can't fall in love, you know. Y'all can read between the lines on that one. Fuck it, I ain't got to keep saying all this shit. Understand what I'm saying? You need to make sure who you falling in love with these days. Again, there's nothing wrong with muy caliente. There ain't nothing wrong with dating a Hispanic person, a Latino person. Somebody that wasn't born here, but you need to make sure that papers are in order, bitch. Because if you fool around and fall in love, and you got to fool around and be like, ain't no sense you standing out there on the dock of the bay, waving au revoir and all that shit, and they on the steamboat headed back over yonder ways. Now you got to figure it out. So you better check into people's history before you go laying up, falling all deep into their oceans and carrying on, and get married and shit. What else I got wrote down? I told you I'd be writing shit down. I got to keep some notes because I get all carried away and carrying on. I think I covered most of it a little bit. Or better yet, even if Freddie, Ready Freddie might have got him another, smooth operator over there. He might have another charcuterie over there laying up in his house. So at the end of the day, just like you told the people, you moved all the way from LA to go down there and start a new life. You went and had a baby in that house. You went and lived in there. You decorated it and all that shit. Take your ass back to LA where you came from. And I'm sure you have a better life over there. Maybe you should be looking for a job over there in LA, Jeannie Mai, and just rebuild and raise your daughter and let him pay child support. Or like my grandma said, let him pay non-support or something, shit. Whatever y'all court order was on y'all divorce, go on about your business and live with it. Or if it don't seem fair, you take your ass back down into the court and get you an appeal and go that route. Or go down there and get that thing renewed to go down there and go see about walking them house. That man don't want you in there putting all that shibuki in this house and shit, dropping all that old voodoo dust and carrying on. And I ain't saying like dust. Those energies, he don't want that in there. Go on about your business. He done told you he don't want nothing else to do with you. Don't make no man tell you twice. Get your stuff out the garage and pack it up in the U-Haul and ride your ass back to California and raise that baby. What else I was thinking about? Because I'm trying to make sure I cover everything. Yeah, let me go back to Freddie. Oh, Leah, yeah, go on about your business. Go back over there and start living your life. And the same message, I'm not going to cover no two stories and all that shit. I'm not going to do no whole video just to say the one thing. To Tia Mowry, I think that's the right twin, and Jeannie Mai, y'all went on about y'all business and carrying on, and you said the man wasn't worth shit. They was doing y'all wrong. They was toxic and all that stuff. And I'm not saying they, didn't have toxic ways. In relationships and marriages, you have to understand. And I got to stop doing this shit because I've been looking at that orange man too long, and my hands be doing shit I don't approve of. So I got to stop that. I got to start stopping. But at the end of the day, you have to understand, especially when you're married, there are certain degrees and levels of shit. You might have to kick it up a notch to the level of shit you wouldn't to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And you still have to have your boundaries. But I mean, fuck, just as fast as y'all go get married, be seen like all of y'all nowadays over there in Hollywood is getting divorced just that much more quicker. Shit, there's only a few divorces I approved of in Hollywood, and one of them goes way back to probably shit the 60s or 70s. Tina Turner, she should have left Ike because Ike was doing too much. He was knocking that woman head between the washer and dryer, shit, head between the dishwasher and the refrigerator. And my whole thing is, even with Jeannie Mai and even with Tia Mowry and several other women that keeps coming out telling us all these bodacious bullshit stories about how, all of a sudden now their marriage is so toxic and things are so horrible, and he does all this and all that. And I'm not going to say that emotional abuse is not a thing, because it is. Everything is not always hinged upon physical abuse. Let's just get that clear. Abuse is abuse. You know what I mean? And those are things, of course, you have to make sure to extract yourself from for to get your higher self, your mental health and shit, sometimes your physical health. But at the end of the day, sometimes maybe therapy helps some shit before you lay around there and bail on the motherfucker. Because at the end of the day, Kira went out there, she wanted to lay around, go sample more wine and shit. She wanted to go back down to the winery. She wanted to go sample more wine. Now she found out all the wine she been sampling ain't worth a shit. Good labels probably slapped on them. They probably come with expensive price, or they look that way. Only for you to go down and risk swiping that card to get it back down to the house to realize this wasn't shit and had you known before. And they gave you a sample like they do down at the grocery store. You can tell, I don't want this shit. You know what I mean? And so now you're going back down because at least that wine, it tastes good for a long ass time. You just got tired of it. And we as humans, we're inclined to be that way, but you have to use a lot of discernment and figure out these days, especially out here dating, okay, go for it. That's all I say. And I'm not saying that there's not anything out there better than what you have. Just know that you're exchanging something that you probably really like or that you've been so used to that when you get elsewhere, it's like jobs. You change your job, shit, you got this one job here now. They get on your nerve with shit here and now, always got more work than usual or always got some kind of emergency situation or, rush day, just annoying. But you have several other things that are trade-offs, such as shit, they probably got really good benefits. You probably get, in a month, a birthday off or your dog's birthday or some shit. You might have a lot of paid time off from that job. It's just different things like that. And then you leave that one because of all of the annoying shit that can be rectified and fixed if you just hold out sometimes, right? Sometimes, and actually voice your opinion to actually let it be known that these are the things that I'm unhappy with or I need help with, right? And from there, that's when you find out if the shit is real for the most part, because now there has to be management gets involved, and if they really care about your position or if you're really an asset, something's going to be done to alleviate that pressure in which you describe to your superiors. It kind of, maybe I gave a fucked up analogy, or maybe the analogy don't make sense. I mean, some of y'all probably graduated in other classes. I'm just saying, bitch, we all went in the same class. They tried to put me in there too. I had to go take an exam to make sure them bitches didn't lock it down, make the decision final. But I'm glad to say I made it over. But for those who didn't, shit, bitch, you still made it over. You graduated. But the analogy, is basically saying that in a relationship, if you convey those things in a proper manner, because when you go to your manager, you kissing ass, you trying to make sure most of you, trying to make sure you ain't losing your job by being an insubordinate or some shit. So use that same type of tactic in your everyday lives and relationships, especially if you're married. You know what I mean? Because that gives that opportunity. Now you voice that shit. And most times do that shit before you get married, so that way you got a prime idea of what the fuck you dealing with. But the bottom line is, if you're already in there, have conversation. Figure that shit the fuck out. Stop jumping in marriage after meeting 3, 4, 6 months or weeks or whatever, and then you ain't been in that motherfucker, no longer than John stayed in the army. Shit, And now you found a reason. Oh, he partied too much. I don't like the way you close the microwave and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't wash your ass enough for me. Now that's a big one. I'm just telling you. Listen, I ain't got to worry about getting to no alternate shit like that. If you can't wash your ass while we dating or some shit, don't even worry about it. I need you to, butt floss with a rag. Fuck all that freaky shit. We ain't. And no. He exercised too much. It's just silly shit, because these people always end up breaking up over silly shit. Most of them anyway. Now again, I say if it's definitely to the extreme of your Bobby pins or your Mario coins are on the floor every once in a while at all, you need to bitch get you an exit strategy. Your liquor been kicked in. Get you a strategy to get the hell on about that. Extract yourself. Get your children and get somewhere and get some help. Call the police. Shit, if you're in a different situation, you might be risking it all, but shit, call ICE if you have to. I mean, shit, you might be risking the whole family, but at least you getting somebody, you getting help. Okay, I don't know, but as far as the way that Jeannie Mai is behaving, I just don't approve, and it's not only just because I didn't like her in the past, or probably don't care too much for her character. I'm gonna say that her character too much, her personality maybe. I don't know. She just get on my damn nerve. Just get on my nerves. She just always have this. The way she speaks is it's different when you speak when you feel you're confident, but sometimes she just a little too overconfident, and it just drives me bananas. And the shit, yeah, I can see how living with her will cause you to change the locks, hire a new housekeeper, get a new old lady or woman, wife. Shit, I mean, I would have honestly, if I was him, I would have moved all together. By the time she came back in this next 6 months, she'd have been coming back to a new owner or empty house because I would have been sold it and moved on and moved somewhere else. So clearly, both of them have some kind of toxic attachment to each other, because when you really done with a motherfucker, I ain't finna just put your shit out. I would have had your shit delivered to your house. All them boxes I had in that garage with that kind of money, I'd have hired some movers and I'd have got your address. I'd have delivered all your shit to your address. And I would have paid them. I would have paid them to carry all your shit in to your new place, whether it fit or not. Stack them bitches to the ceiling. Let her figure it out. It's over there. You know, you go pay somebody else to bring it to the storage unit. You know, if you're in a smaller place, that ain't my problem. Get Mama Maya to help you. You know, organize that shit. And you should have, after sending that truck over with the movers, this should have been the same day. The movers should have been coming right behind it when they drove off. They should have been pulling up Yeezy to get your shit out the house, so you could have been moving on to your next phase. Because I really wouldn't want to live in a house that I've been in with. I think he might have been living in that house before they got married, but ipso facto, I don't give a fuck. Oh, I still would have sold and moved you know, to show you I'm serious. And the only time you wasn't even gonna find out where I live until you matured enough to figure out how to handle your shit and control yourself. We would have had drop-off points, you know, to get the baby and shit like that. I won't be bothered with you. I don't want to see you. You know, that would have been a level of cordialness that she and I would have had. And she should have been down for it. If you two figured out y'all that fucking toxic for each other, it should have been separate, sever, cut ties at all costs, other than when it involves the child. Period. So, and another thing, last but not least, as far as you African American girls, y'all better not be saying shit. Y'all better not be saying shit. Don't defend shit. Don't say nothing. Just hush. Go on up in there and get you a bottle of that Andre wine that you got from the grocery store. Okay? Go on up in there. Because some of y'all hang tough. Go on and get your tequila or your cognac or your trees. Yes, whatever your preference is, take your ass up in there and put them kids to bed, or let their ass go in their room and jump on them beds all night long and go in there and relax your goddamn nerve. You done worked hard enough all day long. You have enough on your plate to deal with. You know, this coming 4 years, you've already had enough to deal with. Don't y'all say a beep. Don't say shit. Nothing. Y'all good on this one, okay? Just check the fuck out. Unplug the computer. Put your phone on the charger. Put your little jazz music on, break your rolls out, make sure them kids go to bed, go on, take your ass in their room and break that rolls out after you get enough of that lick up in your system, and go ahead, because, you know, you ain't got no man, this is for the singles. Go on, break that rolls out, bitch, and Make that rose fuck around and find out. I'm talking about short that bitch out. Don't be paying no attention to none of that shit she got going on over there. Let them take care of that shit. If you got a husband or old man, too, do the same thing. Go in there, get drunk, and just do some filthy shit with your husband or your old man. Don't be paying no attention to that woman, what she got going on. She should have stayed with that Caucasian man in the first place, old Freddie, and did him right, and she'd have been okay. So she didn't do that. So now here we are. Let her clean up her own mess. All right. Anyway, that's the end. I'm about to go out here and find me something to eat. Make sure to subscribe to the video. I mean, shit, to the channel. And share this video. Jump in the comments section and let me know what y'all think about this situation going on betwixt these two. But you sisters, now y'all go kind of easy on it, but at the same time, don't come down here with the defense. Lay low on them. Make sure to share this video with your friends, your family, your other cousin, your nappy head ass next door neighbor that ain't got no man over there, and she needs something to do. Let her watch this damn video. Your coworker, even the bitch that's telling on you all the time, go ahead and give her something else to do, because she ain't there watching TikToks anyway. And matter of fact, while she watching, record her ass so you can get that shit to HR, and that'll show her ass the next time when she go down there telling everybody you drank up all the coffee and shit, and that you ain't down there doing your work, and that you taking copy paper home. Stop taking that damn copy paper home. But don't let her be telling all your business. Videotape her ass watching this and take it to HR. Anyway, love you guys. To the next video. Like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, and love you guys so much. Good night.